Get out. There's no way. Sakurai and Nintendo working on a new Smash game? Yeah, I know. It's pretty obvious that this was definitely going to happen. And I know you probably had that same reaction when reading the title of this video, like, come on. But believe it or not, there's still people out there that believe that Smash Brothers is not going to be coming back for some reason. I don't know why. I literally see tweets and even comments on my videos about that in Splatoon all the time, saying none of those are coming back when they're two of Nintendo's biggest franchises ever. And Splatoon's like Nintendo's biggest franchise of all time in Japan. I don't know why. Why are people saying this? But by now, to you, it's probably no secret that Sakurai had already announced that he is working on a new project and that he already sent the proposal over to Nintendo, and he was dealing with this actually while he was working on his YouTube channel so many years ago. So yeah, he's been working on this probably for a very long time now. But we just found out from his last YouTube video stating that he actually did have a proposal and he gave it to Nintendo and that we would actually hear about it soon. How soon? It's impossible to say, but Sakurai did confirm that he's working on something. Now, there's a very good chance that it couldn't be Smash Brothers, and I actually am going to make a separate video talking about what else it could be if it's not Smash, because I do think there is a slim chance it could be something Kid Icarus regarded. Probably not. I feel like the next thing for Kid Icarus is Kid Icarus Uprising HD for the Switch would just make a lot of sense. So personally, I do think it's probably Smash, and I think a lot of people are on the same page. It's probably Smash. But yeah, while on the topic, Nintendo, you're bringing back a lot of old games. Can you please bring back one that makes sense? I'm talking to you, Donkey Kong. But I kind of want to just take this information to give another time to talk about Smash Brothers again. Because yes, I actually haven't made a video since my original next Smash game prediction that I titled Super Smash Brothers Legends. You can actually check out the full video by clicking on the title card above. Man, I can't believe, looking back, that was 9 months ago I made that video. So clearly it's time to talk about Smash again, and of course, talking about what it could mean for Smash on the Nintendo Switch 2. Because if Sakurai really is leading the development of the next Smash Brothers game right now, it's probably time we start talking about this again as we get closer and closer to Switch 2's reveal. Before we begin, you guys brought in about 95 brand new subscribers yesterday alone. Let's see if we can beat that today with around 100, so if you enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe. It goes a long way, especially if you want to stay up to date on Smash Bros content. But let's dive in. So we know from Sakurai that the proposal that he sent in wasn't even sent in until 2021, which was right after the reveal and release of Sora. If this is the case, that means we'd have about 3 years of active development if the proposal was confirmed, which I believe it was based on the way that he was talking about it and also talking about how we'll see it sooner or later, so pretty much it probably went through fine, you know. It's Sakurai. Now, 2 years is not a long time, where most game development takes around 4 to 6 years to complete, so we're probably still a ways away. But if you think maybe this could not be the game that he was proposing, and instead he's already been working on the next Smash Brothers game, or it's something that Nintendo's already handling themselves, and they instead asked for a separate project from Sakurai, then you would probably guess that this has been in development for a lot longer, considering the fact that Smash Bros. Ultimate actually released in 2018, which was a whopping 6 years ago. So there's a good chance that this game could be close to completion if it was started shortly after that. But there's a good chance it wasn't, because they were probably still working on DLC and all their effort and time was spent on the DLC. Although with Smash 4, we did hear from Sakurai that he actually started working on Smash Ultimate towards the end of the DLC, even while the DLC was coming out. But Sora was released in October of 2021, which would give Sakurai and his team 3 years so far of development, which is actually a good chunk of time. And based on how things are going right now with Nintendo Switch 2, it doesn't look like we'll see the console anytime soon. In fact, we'll probably have to wait until next year, January the earliest, to see the thing. I'm personally expecting around the month of February, so that means it's still probably going to be a long time until we actually get our hands on the console itself, which I'm not expecting until as early as the summer being the earliest possible time frame if that's the case, because Nintendo's going to want a gap from announcement to actual release, so I'm saying around summer or even holiday of next year until we get our hands on this console. And remember, Smash Ultimate released at the very tail end, December, which was a very weird launch month for Nintendo and normally never happens, but December of 2018, which was the end of the second year for Nintendo Switch. So there's a very good chance that we may not even see Smash Smash until the beginning of the 3rd year for Switch 2 if it does come out in holiday of 2025. So I'm guessing around an early 2027 release date, which would give about 6 years of development, which might be a little long for the series, but when you consider lots of the games were just bringing back past characters, especially Smash Ultimate, which was just a combination of all the characters and stages from past games, it probably was a lot faster than some of the other games that they have had to work on in the past. Now, why are people so negative when it comes to the next Smash Brothers? Well, I think the big thing is once Nintendo did the Smash Ultimate thing and had all these third-party characters and pretty much every single character of all time, people have it in their heads that Nintendo can't mess with this now, because if they start making new games with less characters, people are going to be less interested in the title, and I couldn't disagree more. That is definitely not the case, and I don't think that needs to happen. Now, Nintendo thankfully did come out and announce that the Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with Switch 1, which is something that we were all expecting, but still, that absolutely is a positive sign for us that've been playing Mario Kart 8 for so long. So there's a very good chance that we don't get a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition, or maybe even a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe Edition. I mean, it could still happen for Smash, just packing everything together, but I really doubt it at this point, thanks to backwards compatibility, which just would not float over well with Nintendo fans. So with this, a lot of people are confused what's going to happen. Well, even Sakurai himself said they'd probably have to deconstruct Smash, and that's exactly what it's going to be, a deconstruction of the roster and the game modes and pretty much everything that we know. Yes, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate needs a hard reboot, not a soft one, a hard one. They're going to need to drop a lot of characters, and I've seen so many different people make lists of who's going to drop and who's not, and it's impossible because someone's going to get mad out there. So someone is going to get upset that their character is not going to be in the next Smash Brothers. It's inevitable. It is going to happen, but it's something that needs to happen because it opens up the door for more first-party inclusions and obviously a revamped roster with the characters that we've already known and loved. A lot of people have been complaining over the years that the characters represented in Smash Brothers don't really feel like their video game counterparts, unlike the way the DLC characters feel, which feel like special inclusions that really pull from every nook and cranny of history that characters had from their respective games, where it doesn't feel like that with some of the base roster characters, like Bowser or Donkey Kong or even Mario has had the same moveset since the very beginning of time from Super Smash Bros. On the 64. It's definitely time for a revamped moveset for Mario, including some games like Galaxy and 3D World and Odyssey, and just incorporating more of his Mario likeness instead of him just punching and kicking. Actually give him a moveset that's based off of his games now, and that's something that people, myself included, have been asking for so long. And the fact that it doesn't just stop at Mario, but it goes along with so many other characters who've gotten new games over the years and gotten tons of changes to their base movesets, adding new items, abilities, and just overall changes to the character and their stories. They need to be updated. I think more effort should also go into the skins of the characters, actually giving costumes and outfits. We've seen a little bit with some characters actually getting completely new models with their costumes. Hopefully they do more of this and actually do more than just recolor the character and actually give us some unique changes with the characters' alts like we have with the Koopalings. Third-party inclusions are always fun, but it's time that we get a big solid batch of new first-party characters. There's so many to choose from and so many that still have not made the cut, and they're getting replaced by crazy characters like Sora, Banjo and Kazooie, and even Steve, which are great additions. I mean, I love Steve to death, but man, it's just something different to actually see Nintendo characters get included within Nintendo games. But it also doesn't mean that they can't have third-party inclusions. There's still so many characters that fans have wanted, like Rayman, Bomberman, Shovel Knight, Shantae, even Geno is still being cried out for, and a lot of people have been completely vocal about a second Sonic character, whether it be Eggman, Shadow, Knuckles, or even Tails, and the fact that we didn't even get Shadow as an Echo is kind of crazy when we have 2 Castlevania characters and even 2 Final Fantasy characters. Now for stages, it never was a big deal for me because I mostly always played on Omega or Battlefield forms, so yeah, as long as they have those as options, I really don't care. They can get creative and pull from all types of games that we haven't seen so far from those respective IPs, but either way, I mean, there's not much else I can say about this. I think they're going to do a good job with this nevertheless. But yeah, I guess if anything, maybe not bring back an old one, make them all new, and make it all feel fresh instead of having any classic throwbacks. I mean, we've got enough with Ultimate. I don't think we need to see any of these again. But a lot of people are going to argue, if you're chopping the roster down and you're bringing it to the point where there's not as many characters, maybe even half or less than half of the characters of Smash Ultimate, what is the main reason people are going to want to buy this game? Well, when you have a revamped moveset, that might be really good with characters, you know, like every character in the roster feeling like DLC, even Mario, which is a perfect way to do the next Smash Brothers game. I'm still on that. I'm sorry. Change Mario, please. But you need to have a big adventure mode. I mean, we love Subspace Emissary. At least a lot of us do. I know I do. And I love the cutscenes and all the characters interacting with each other. With a smaller roster, this actually makes this a possibility this time around. Hopefully Sakurai is officially over the fact that trailers are leaking online and that it's just going to be a thing. You know, we need to expect that. You know, there's nothing you can really do to prevent that from happening. Games leak all the time. We need an adventure mode with fun boss battles, a cool unique story, maybe even a new unique villain this time around like we had with Taboo, or using villains and creatures from other past games would be really, really cool as well. But please, Nintendo, give us some type of story this time around. As far as everything else, I'm not going to get into all that here. You can actually watch my full Smash Legends video if you want to see or hear anything about that, where I dive into all the extras, collectibles, and things they could have. I mean, I would love to just simply have trophies back. It's a fun way to learn about all the different IPs, seeing little trophy minifigures of everything. So much better than the stupid PNG farm we got in Ultimate. So yeah, just do that. Do tons of extra little fun modes to play. Have a big challenge wall of reasons to go back and play through the game again like you had in the classic games like Brawl and even Smash 4, but I would just love there being tons of fun game modes to play, even for single player, you know, fun things to go in and play and try to complete, and just for completionists galore. But there's so much stuff that, like I said, we could talk about. We'd be going on for years and years, and this stuff doesn't need to be talked about until the game officially gets announced. But you get my gist here. The last thing I'd want is a lot better online mode with proper rankings. Maybe even every individual character has a ranking, kind of like they did with the Global Smash Power, but I don't think anybody even truly knew what that meant, and it was just weird. I mean, they need to just have a straight up ranking system, maybe even showing who's the best in the world and who's not the best. Maybe once you get to a specific rank like S plus or maybe even X, eventually it'll put you in a number pool showing, you know, who's better than you with every individual character. You know, every individual character having a 1 in the world and a 999,999th in the world. You know what I mean? Just like a very tail end and a very tail beginning. I think would be really cool for competitive players to try their best to get better and better. But like I said, there's still a lot more. I'll leave the rest for the video if you want to watch it. But overall, I just am getting excited for the next Smash Brothers game. Smash Ultimate was amazing, and I had a lot of fun playing it, but it wasn't perfect. As a longtime Smash fan, a lot of the characters were just coming back from past games, and a lot of the stages, most of the stages, almost every stage was coming from past games. I think Smash Ultimate's highlight and the biggest part of the game itself was when it came to DLC and trying to see which crazy third-party character was going to make the cut next. That was probably the hypest part about the game. But I'm ready to be hype about base Smash Brothers again. The game modes, the story mode, and yes, even the first-party character inclusions, and even seeing how movesets have changed from characters that we've known and loved. But it is probably still going to be a while until we actually get our hands on the next Smash game, although we know Nintendo can't shut up and stay quiet about games like this. They're going to end up announcing this thing probably relatively early in its development cycle. Yeah, I'm talking maybe even as early as the Switch 2 reveal. I mean, we could see a small, super tiny glimpse of the next Smash game. I really doubt it though. If I had to actually predict and make a timeline when I think we could actually see the first reveal or trailer of this game, I'm saying the very, very end of 2025 or the very, very beginning of 2026, but it very well could be after that. Who knows? That's just kind of my own mindset and predictions I'm trying to figure out for myself. With a brand new console in the market, Nintendo probably doesn't want to wait too long. It's probably been something that they've been thinking about and planning for a very long time. I mean, the same thing can be said with Splatoon, so I think around the same time we'll see both of these games releasing very close to each other. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Do you think we'll be seeing the next Smash Brothers game relatively soon? Are you excited for the next Smash Brothers game? Do you think this is even what Sakurai is working on with that proposal, or is it something completely different? Definitely let me know in the comments down below, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.